KVNU News Time is now 8:54 on the Valley's Morning News. My wife says it, on time is late and early is on time. Joining us here in the KVNU studios right now, the Logan Grizzlies, Coach Nate Butts. We've got Grayden, Olsen, and Easton. Fav. That's what I got from Friday. Call you Fav. Is that what everybody calls you?
Yeah, that works for me.
So, guys, we're here. We're the home for the Logan Grizzlies. And, Coach, we've had a relationship for the past year on X. The first time got to meet you on the Crimson Field. My daughter, Stacy, is so excited because I have met the real-life Maui the demigod from the Moana series. But, Coach, you're bringing a new kind of energy to this program. I've shared with you before, my boys came through. We came to Logan a couple of years ago. They were in the football program. There were a couple things, and they've moved on. And now I've watched you for the last year come into this program and really bring this positive energy. Tell me, introduce yourself to the audience first here on KVNU, and tell me what your vision is for this Logan football Grizzlies team.
Yeah, well, you know, this is my sixth stop in my career. Been all over the place. Fortunate to coach football at the college level, coach high school football in Texas, and I'm a graduate of Utah State, so excited to be back here in Logan. And, you know, the biggest thing that we want to hang our hat on is developing the whole person. Kind of our theme for this year specifically is POP, the power of positivity. And we want to create the best possible experience for these young men that we possibly can. And that's not just football, it's everything that goes with it. You know, it's so much more than the game. It's a community event, and it's such a great opportunity to just be able to mold these guys into great young men and hopefully, you know, future business leaders and fathers and husbands, and it's so much bigger than football.
Because we were talking about this Friday, I said, I've seen it throughout the season and the off season. You've got the players and yourself out doing community service projects all year long. This team, very young last year, but, you know, I was talking to Grayden and Easton, and they've been playing together since they were in the second grade. And that young team coming together, and I told you, I sent you a text message that said I was really impressed with these young men that you have on this team, how they come across not only as football players, but as the future, you know, in our community, business leaders, fathers, and leaders that way. It's really important to you, not just the results on the field, but off the field also.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what we want to hang our hat on more than anything is we want people to recognize, you know, what we're doing off the field. And we think that if we take care of business off the field, then what we put on the field, it's just a byproduct of it. I mean, it's going to come. The results are going to come eventually. And we talk about all the time, is it going to be right now? Is it going to be in a few weeks? Is it going to be in a few months, a couple years? I don't know. It's hard to always put to put a date on it. But I think when you take care of things, that you can control, then you're going to see it come to fruition on the field.
And two of the players joining us in here, we've got Grayden, Olsen, and Easton Fav. Now, y'all, sophomores last year playing significant snaps. Now you guys are coming into your junior season. This team's still kind of young, but I tell you, watching you guys out on the field, Grayden, what are you excited for this team coming up this new season? Of course, playing in 3A. We've heard a lot of stuff about that, but really looking forward to a competitive team this season.
Yes, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is definitely just like the maturity and the experience that all these like younger guys that they're going to have, because a lot of the juniors coming up were also getting minutes last year and like making the mistakes that comes like through experience. And now that they have that experience and they're not going to make those mistakes, I think they're going to be able to really ball out this year.
Easton, sophomore, starting varsity quarterback. That's a pretty big belt to put on every day, but you handled it really well. Now going into your junior season, where do you see this season for you and the Grizzlies?
Experience. I got a lot more experience, which is huge, and I think I'll be able to lead a lot better, and just all in all have a way better season with a lot more experience. And I think the entire team will too. As Grayden said, the maturity is huge in the development from sophomore to junior season with all those young guys my age. And yeah, I think it'll be huge for us.
How has fall camp been for you guys? Is it been kind of a different experience from last year to this year, or what's the new standard for you guys?
Yeah, I think it's been a lot different this year. You know, not like really because of the practices, but just more like of the mindset going into it. You know, last year I felt like a lot of people were like just kind of dragging into fall camp and like not really wanting to be there. This year I really felt like people wanting to be there, wanting to get better, and just excited for the opportunity to be able to practice so much.
We're talking with some of the Logan Grizzlies here on the Valley's Morning News, KVNU. It's 8:59. Coming up, we're going to take a quick break for ABC News, then come back and talk to Coach Butts and Grayson and Easton and talk about the upcoming season and how the local community can get involved to support this football team as the Logan Grizzlies look to start their campaign for 2025 coming up this Friday. Coming up, ABC News, and we'll be back with more with the Logan Grizzlies.
Breaking news and stimulating talk.
America is ours.
KVNU Logan, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump says he has the authority to do it, so he is taking control of law enforcement in Washington, D.C.
Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control.
The president in the White House briefing room says he is, quote, rescuing the nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, squalor, and worse. Crime, and especially violent crime, has actually been dropping in Washington, D.C. in recent years. Transcripts of the secret grand jury testimony that led to the indictment of Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, on sex trafficking charges will not be released, according to a judge. There's an emergency UN Security Council meeting to discuss Israel's plans to move its military further into Gaza, and says ABC's James Longman at the Foreign Desk.
International outcry is growing after Israel killed multiple journalists in a tent outside a Gaza City hospital. It's believed to be the biggest single attack on journalists since October 7th. The Israeli airstrike killed Anas al-Sharif, a prominent Al Jazeera correspondent, another reporter, 2 cameramen, and 2 other freelancers. Israel claims al-Sharif supported Hamas terror attacks. These are allegations Al Jazeera has vehemently denied.
The Committee to Protect Journalists also says Israel has provided no evidence to support those allegations. Cleanup continuing in Milwaukee following a weekend of flash flooding in Wisconsin that was so bad it left cars in the parking lot of the stadium where the Brewers play floating and buckled the road underneath Derek Watson's car.
I'm going down, so then I got out the car, climbed on top of the car. First of all, I got out the car and slipped under into the water, but I climbed back up.
He was one of many people who had to be rescued from flooded cars. This is ABC News.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Quiet down, here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Paramount will become the new home to Ultimate Fighting Championship events across the country next year through a 7-year agreement announced with TKO Group this morning. It marks a shift away from the UFC's existing pay-per-view model. Even though under President Trump, the U.S. has slashed the tax incentive and others for people to get for buying electric vehicles, Ford has just announced that it is investing $2 billion into retooling a factory in Kentucky to produce EVs. It's Monday, so that means the Texas State House will once again be gavelled to order so Republicans can take another shot at voting on a state redistricting plan that will likely add more GOP seats to Congress in next year's midterms. ABC's Jim Ryan is in Texas.
There's practically no chance that enough members will be in attendance that any business can be taken up.
We have a political constitutional right to stop them from having a quorum, and we're not going to let them do it.
John Busey is one of dozens of Texas House Democrats out of the state for a second week to prevent a vote on a Republican-drawn map of the state's congressional districts.
As far as I'm concerned, they won't have it for the rest of the special session.
In which case, the governor would call another special session to take up redistricting again. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
A heat wave once again scorching parts of Europe, raising the risk of wildfires in wine country. Hungary saw record-breaking weekend temperatures, and the UK's Met Office expects the country's fourth heat wave of the summer to peak at about 90 degrees tomorrow. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Grizzly football on News Talk KVNU Logan, 610 AM, 102.1 FM, and online at 610kvnu.com.
It sounds just a little bit different this morning on the Valley's Morning News. J.D. Walker, Will Philrine. We've got Grayson, Olsen, Easton, Fav, and Coach Nate Butts from the Logan Grizzlies here. Of course, KVNU, the home of the Logan Grizzlies, and visiting with the guys as they're getting football season off this week and fall camps wrapped up. Coach, you're telling me that your wife's kind of excited because you're actually going to beat her home tomorrow because 2-a-days and everything. But, you know, this week heading into Hillcrest and getting ready, you know, what does it mean for you to be at this part right now, your second season here in Logan, and get ready to go on the field with these guys?
Yeah, man, we're so excited. These guys have done so much hard work. I mean, we didn't take any time off. We started as soon as we could this off season, and man, there's been some really, really long days, especially this summer and during fall camp, and excited for things to slow down just a little bit, which sounds crazy to say when you hit the season, but we put in so much work on the front end that now it's about just staying healthy and trying to peak at the right time. And like we talked about earlier before the break, seeing these guys, I mean, we started 13 sophomores last year, so being able to get those guys back and not have, just like Grayden talked about, not having the same mistakes being made this year that were made last year as sophomores I'm really excited to see them get on the field on Friday.
So 7 o'clock at the Crimson Field this Friday, the Grizzlies taking on the Huskies from Hillcrest. About a couple minutes before you guys come out on the field, give us kind of an insight of what your message is to the team before you head on out there. You don't have to give any spoilers. Just kind of give us a general of what Coach Butts would give to the hype talk. Are you a fiery guy? Are you a Newt Rockney? Of course, he's looking over at Grayson and Easton.
They might have a better opinion than me. I don't know. They can maybe tell you what they think. But we kind of usually have a theme for the week, and these guys don't know what it is yet. They're going to find out this afternoon, and it kind of gets wrapped up on Friday right before we go out. And I think we've got a really good one this week for our first game. So you're going to see there's going to be a lot of energy in the locker room before we get started on Friday.
What are you looking forward to seeing at 7 o'clock when that first whistle goes off, that ball's kicked off the tee, and the game's official? Summer practices, everything put to bed. What is the one thing Coach is looking for Friday night from your Grizzlies?
I'm looking forward to it's actually two things. I'm looking forward to us taking care of the ball on offense and taking away the football and scoring on defense.
And what can we do as a community? Well, of course, be out there, Logan High School. I know you've been very active at kind of building, rebuilding, and patching some parts of the frame and some tradition and things that have come along that we discussed, but also starting your own traditions and your own things that are going on here at Logan. How can we as the community support you and the football players out there on the field, whether it's to be at games or is there other ways that we can get involved?
Yeah, I think something that we do that's really cool at Logan is we have everything that we do from a practice standpoint is open to the community. So I know that these guys get really excited when we have community members come out to practice and stuff like that. So I think it's more than just the game. There's so many ways that you can be involved. We do so many different Community events, like we talked about just a little bit earlier, we'd feed these kids up to 3 times a week, and we love it when we have, especially business owners and church leaders and stuff like that in the community come and speak to these guys. So there's so much opportunity. It's not just showing up to the game; it's coming early and it's staying late. That we have a great. I think what we do for pregame's fantastic. I think we have one of the most exciting pregames in the state. And then it's staying throughout the whole game and supporting these guys and being able to celebrate the win with them after we take care of business.
And I don't believe there are too many better places to sit than on the Grizzly sideline up in those stands as the sun's going down here in Cache Valley on a Friday night. The lights pop off. The mountains behind us are on fire. It's just the perfect setting for football. Easton, you're going to be out there the first snap. You're stepping out on the field this Friday night against Hillcrest. What's going to be going through your mind? But you've been here before. Most juniors that are taking the reins, it's like, okay, this is where I'm stepping in to start. But you've got that under your belt. What's going to be going through your mind as you break that huddle with your team?
Yeah, so, I started last year, so I'm going to be a little bit more comfortable. And then, I'm just going to take it all in. Friday Night Lights is the best thing there is, I think. And, I'm just really, really passionate about Logan High, and I'm just really excited to get out there.
And Grayson, when you guys are out there and you're in the huddle, whether you're on defense or playing offense, because a lot of these guys going both ways this year, a lot of Ironman football, what does it mean to you when you're here at the Crimson Field in Logan and you look up and you see your family and your friends, but you got the community behind you cheering you out there? What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. From a culture standpoint, sticking with Logan High, because I know there's been a lot of kids transfer away from Logan, just starting as a little kid playing for Logan with the Little League, and just never a doubt that I was going to go to Logan, and just wanting to be out there ever since I was a little kid and wanting to represent.
Man, I tell you, you got to be excited to have these young men on your team, Coach Buzz. Coach Grayson, Easton, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. Of course, we'll check in with you throughout the season, Coach. Would love to hear from you after the games and get kind of a breakdown for that. And something we've talked about doing not only here on the Valley's Morning News, but Aggie Game Day when we roll around covering the Aggies. We also want to shine a spotlight on our student athletes and our prep athletes here in Cache Valley. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. Best of luck this Friday night, and we'll see you out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
KVNU News Time is now 9:11. We'll be back as the Valley's Morning News continues.